You guys have been waiting a long time for this, so without further ado, this is our IKEA kitchen. So before we start the tour, we'll explain a little bit. We only did lower cabinets from IKEA because we needed to save money and because we think we're gonna do open cabinet right behind me. So you're gonna see all the lowers are from IKEA, and then we'll build our own open shelving right here. And I think we have some cool designs coming. So if you have followed us for any amount of time and you've seen our floor plan originally when we first planned out a shed to house.
Oh, cool.
That is great. That kitchen was in a totally different spot. When we moved it here, so that you walk in the front door and the first thing you see is the kitchen, we knew it needed to be a little bit prettier than the salvaged cabinets that we'd found next door. So we went to IKEA because free childcare. The kids played in a ball pit and we walked upstairs with the baby. It may even have been the first place that we walked into. They have the showroom, which was great for us because we kind of didn't know even where to start. I knew I didn't want a wood burning stove. This is a house that we're definitely gonna live in now for like 5 years, if not longer. But I didn't want this to be like our retirement home, so I didn't want to sink a ton of money into the kitchen. Bo and I walked around, we talked around, and we walked into the showroom and he goes, "Babe, what do you think about this?" What you see in our kitchen is almost exactly what we saw in the IKEA showroom, but just obviously less of it. Okay, come with me to our kitchen.
Ignore all that over there. We cleaned everything perfectly over
we
here.
We only look in one corner at a time. What you don't see on YouTube is where we live. Everything that we do outside of the screen. This is our refrigerator from our Katie house. I love it because it's got the bottom drawer for the freezer instead of 2 sections. It just works good for our family. Do we want to open it? There's nothing impressive in there.
Sure. What is in our refrigerator, everybody?
Our refrigerator is full of like CSA veggies, I think. Yeah.
And
I like it because it's so wide. So like if I make something and it needs to cool on a tray, I can just rearrange things. This is not an LG fridge plug, but to say you can fit a full-size fridge in your small house. Something you guys all suggested was start building up. So in our big kitchen space, we can start building up toward the roof and still have a lot of room. You won't love the organization in this because quite frankly, it's not organized, but this is huge, y'all. I fit at least 3 shelves full of our Katie cabinets in here. So what used to be in our pantry is all in here. It's not organized, it's not the way it will be, but we know everything that's in there. So it'll hold a lot of stuff. There's some little things we can do with shelving in there to make it more functional, but it works. My favorite thing about IKEA is that they always maximize space. So this may look like your average drawer, but if you open it up, there's a hidden drawer that maximizes space. I really like the way that they do this because it has this one has a typical close. This one has a slow close. No little fingers get pinched. I like that. Kitchens are like wedding dresses. You just find the one you like and then you stay with it and it feels like it's yours, right? We did have to get a new dishwasher and that was just a bullet we had to bite. Obviously, if we were moving to a typical house, there would be a dishwasher there. But we had to get a new dishwasher. But I really liked the way this sink came out. This is an IKEA sink. Oh, IKEA does sell appliances there and they have a pretty decent warranty. We wound up going with another company, but you can get all of that from IKEA and they do it all in one swift delivery. It's pretty awesome. This little sink is super fun, but if you didn't know this about building your kitchen for the first time ever, these countertops have to hold the faucet. So if you do a sink that mounts on top of your counter, people who come to install your countertops are the ones who create a space for the sink. So they just drill the hole. They don't actually install it. But that meant for us that we really waited a very, very long time.
Which is one reason why it's taken us so long to do this video.
That's true. A huge reason that we didn't do it is because it just wasn't even complete. IKEA is awesome because it's one stop. You can walk in and see what you like, and then you can walk through the rest of the store and just pull it from the shelves, connect with the people who help you build and create a kitchen, and then you can take all of that home and put it together yourself if you want to. One of those pieces are the sink faucet. We did not find a faucet that we liked. Bo actually does most of the dishes at our house, and when he walked through the faucets, he went and he like touched all of them, was switching on the handles and everything, and he was like, I don't like any of these. So we didn't go with an IKEA faucet. This is the same faucet that Bo installed in our Katie house.
Okay.
I mean, not the same one, but the same model. And we just like it. It's got a sprayer function and, you know, can pause and stuff like that. Nothing fancy, just super functional. And I like the reach of the arm. Like, I can get to all the corners of the sink. Oh, something about the sink. So our friend Jen at Sunshine Farm, New York, she showed me her IKEA sink, and she said, Kelly, if you're gonna get a sink, an apron sink from IKEA, you need to get a little sink rack. So she said that your pots and pans will scratch in your sink, and ours have even done that in a couple of places. I know we can buff it out, but like you'll see here, there's some shadow. These are actually from our pans. It's not from dirty food. But if you put the little sink rack in there, then it doesn't scratch. So I was so thankful for Jen to tell me that, because I was like, oh, this is genius. I actually found her channel because we were looking for IKEA kitchens, people who'd reviewed them, and there aren't a lot. So it was helpful for us to have somebody who'd actually done it before us. And they installed their own kitchen sink, or their own kitchen.
So go check out their video.
Yeah.
Somewhere up here.
Something we didn't know before we installed this sink was how having a drain in the center of the sink would change the way things work under the sink. If you have a double sink, or if you have a sink where the drain is toward the back of the sink, like closer to the faucet, this drain won't come all the way to the middle of your storage. So that's one thing under here that's kind of a bummer, is we lose some storage space because this drain has to come so far in front of the sink.
But we might be able to build some
I'm sure.
shelves and stuff.
Yeah, before you guys send us all these messages about how unorganized we are and how we don't do things right, if you would tell us some suggestions, that would be awesome. We're kind of a blank slate still. Even though we have the kitchen in place, the drawers, the cabinets, the organizing can all be improved on. So we totally value the feedback before we get the bomb. I'm well aware I'm gonna get slayed for this use of space, but I think I've got some good advice for you who have not started. Right here, I really like the storage that I get from these big cabinets. And again, there's a hidden, sorry, they're not cabinets, they're drawers. But there's a hidden drawer here, which is great because we don't know what'll go in here eventually, but for right now, it kind of catches all the extras. A lot of these cups are gonna go on that open shelving we talked about earlier, but it holds tons and tons of stuff. Like, I really like that we can pile up on these. Something I was surprised about is that these drawers have no sides. If you know why they have no sides, you let us know. We don't know why, but we like them still. Because I chose these two drawers, that means everything over here is dead space. So there's nothing back here, and it was kind of heartbreaking to put the countertop over this big chasm, but it just had to be done for what we wanted in the kitchen. We did get this nifty little custom cabinet. In fact, the people who installed it cut down a regular cabinet from IKEA and made it just, I think it's 5 inches. So it doesn't hold a ton, again, not organized, but it's really useful space for us right now. And it has that same slow close. This is the advice I have for those of you who are just starting to plan your shed to house. Think about where you want things to be and design that kitchen before you install any electric or any utilities. This is what happened. We put in the electric and the water lines, everything, gas lines that we needed before we even went to the store to find this kitchen. So our sink had to be here. But if we had thought about it differently, we could have put the dishwasher right here, moved the sink over, and we could have maximized this, still had the 2 drawers I wanted, but a lazy Susan over here. and we're probably only missing about 3 or 4 inches right here of what we would need in space to make that happen. So it's one of those things where I just like, ugh, if I had to do it over again, I'd do it differently. It would be my advice to you. Plan your kitchen with the actual layout before you put in the utilities. We went with quartz and we went with a shorter depth, I guess, or a shallower depth in the cabinet. I think this is 1 inch maybe. So we went with quartz because it was affordable. And like I said, we don't want this to be our retirement home. Also, I'm not super into the look of granite. I just really liked having a white countertop. This backsplash is like an additional charge, but it really is helpful for us because I don't know when we're gonna get to a real backsplash here. So it saves the wall from any water or spills that would go and damage the wall. And it keeps our space nice and tidy. So if you're afraid of IKEA, like maybe you've gone in and you thought, oh, this is really cute and cool, but nobody buys IKEA kitchens. This was our best vendor experience out of all the people that we've contracted for this house. We loved how easy it was to talk to someone. They helped us create a plan that would actually fit our space. Someone came out and measured it. And then when they installed it, they were so meticulous. I watched the process and I thought, this is really well done. Like, this is gonna be a solid install that we're not gonna worry about coming apart in a couple years. And the warranty is really good from IKEA. So don't be afraid. Find out what you like, look at how they do some really unique space saver things, and then just go. Like, be brave and try your design. Babe, how'd you get the baby quiet while we did this?
She's watching an iPad
On a pile of dirty laundry?
Yep. Sneak peek of seeing the tile that Kelly rocked out. Good job, babe.
Hey babe, how'd you keep the puppy quiet while we did this?
I got him a deer antler chew toy. Good night, buddy.
So, it is absolutely critical that I've learned you have to clean the floor like perfectly and like just it has to be spotless. Because if you don't clean the floor, then it makes it lumpy and it doesn't go in together. It makes it tough to do that.